Ilara had always enjoyed the quiet of her little corner in the settlement. The colony on Nova, Lyra 7, was small, but welcoming. It had just enough homes clustered near the central plaza, with farms of hydroponic plants stretching under translucent domes. People often joked that the settlement was too small for the galaxy, yet it had something bigger than most planets. A sense of community. Ilara liked her routine. Mornings were for tending her rooftop garden. Afternoons for tinkering with gadgets she built from salvaged parts. And evenings for quiet stargazing. But today, something unusual had arrived for her. A small, well-wrapped package lay on her doorstep, marked with the insignia of the Lyra Family Trust. Her heartbeat quickened. She brought it inside, careful not to tear the wrapping. Inside was a small velvet box. Her fingers trembled slightly as she opened it. Resting inside was a ring delicate, made of an unknown alloy that shimmered in shades of silver and pale blue. Engraved along its surface were intricate patterns, almost alive, like tiny moving constellations. It wasn't just beautiful. It felt different. Ilara, a voice called from next door. Is that a package from the Lyra Trust? Ilara turned to see Rin, her neighbor, leaning casually against the doorway of his small workshop. He had the kind of smile that made even ordinary days feel lighter, and his curiosity was as legendary as her love for gadgets. It's something old, Ilara said, holding the box close. From my great-grandmother's line. I don't know much about it yet. Rin's eyes lit up. Let me see it. Maybe it'll even fit me. Ilara laughed. Hold it for me, okay? She said, handing him the box. Rin took it carefully, turning it over in his hands. The ring felt slightly warm, like it had a pulse of its own. He looked up at her. Wow. It's beautiful. Really strange, too. It almost feels alive. Ilara nodded, eyes fixed on the ring. She felt a strange hum in the air, like the room itself was listening. Her great-grandmother had mentioned something about gifts for those who seek beyond the stars. But Ilara had always thought it was just a story. Now, holding this tiny artifact, the words seemed more real. Does it do anything? Rin asked, tilting the box to catch the light. Ilara shook her head. I'm not sure yet. I just received it today. I want to study it a bit before touching it again. Too. I want to study it again. Too. The ring seemed to hum faintly in response, almost as if it acknowledged her presence. Rin smiled, sensing her excitement. Well, when you figure it out, I expect you to tell me. I want the first look at whatever it does. Ilara smiled, closing the box carefully. She could feel a quiet energy coming from it, gentle, almost like a heartbeat in her palm. She decided to put it on her desk for now, and return to her garden. As she worked among the hydroponic plants, she couldn't help thinking about the ring. It seemed alive, and somehow it felt like more than just a family heirloom. Hours passed, and the sun started to dip behind the translucent domes of Nova Lyra 7. The sky darkened to a deep blue, scattered with stars that seemed sharper here than anywhere else. Ilara returned to her small workshop, the ring on her mind. She carefully opened the box again, curious despite herself. She lifted the ring. A faint glow appeared along the engraved patterns, like the stars themselves were forming constellations on her fingers. She gasped softly. Rin? She called. He appeared in the doorway almost instantly. Yeah? Look at this, she said, holding up the ring. Rin leaned closer. The patterns on the ring were moving now, slowly rotating and forming shapes. That's incredible. It's like it's showing you something. Ilara felt a thrill of excitement. Do you see it? It's almost like a map. Rin's eyes widened. A map? Of what? Ilara shook her head. I don't know yet, but I think it's pointing somewhere, or maybe to something. It reacts to us, Rin. I think it wants to be understood. The room fell silent as both of them stared at the ring. The hum in the air grew slightly stronger, like a whisper just beyond hearing. Elara could feel her pulse quicken. I think it's more than a ring, she said finally. It's alive in a way. Not like us, but aware. Rin nodded slowly. Humans are good at noticing things machines can't, he said thoughtfully. Maybe that's why it responded to you first. Ah, 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 Elara smiled. Maybe. Or maybe it knew we'd figure it out together. For the next few hours, they experimented. The ring responded to touch, to words, and to patterns drawn in the air. When Elara traced the shapes in the engraving with her fingertip, the ring projected faint holographic lights, forming a miniature galaxy that shimmered above her palm. Whoa, Rin breathed. It's a star map. I've never seen anything like this. Elara nodded, feeling a mixture of awe and nervousness. It's showing something. Something far away. Maybe beyond our known colonies. Rin laughed softly. You're holding a cosmic treasure, Elara. And it picked you. How lucky is that? Elara felt a warm glow in her chest. I guess humans are better at surprises than the galaxy thinks, she said, half joking, but half serious. She had always believed that curiosity and imagination were humanity's true strengths. But now, she had proof. The ring was responding to something deep inside her mind. Something uniquely human. They spent the night studying the ring, tracing constellations, and watching its lights flicker. It projected symbols, unknown languages, and rotating star systems. Each new display made them more certain that this was not just a family relic. It was a key to something much larger than Nova Lyra 7, maybe even the galaxy itself. Finally, exhausted, they leaned back in their chairs. Rin held the ring gently, almost reverently. I can't wait to see what it really does, he said. Elara smiled and stretched. Neither can I. But we need to be careful. If it's this advanced, we don't know what it's capable of. And I have a feeling it's waiting for humans to understand it fully. Rin grinned. Well, I think we're up for the challenge. Elara nodded, feeling a spark of hope and excitement. This little ring, warm in Rin's hand, had already changed her understanding of the universe. And somehow, she knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast and unknown, but humans had a way of surprising even the stars themselves. As she turned off the lights and headed to bed, she could still feel the faint hum of the ring in her memory, like a quiet promise of adventures yet to come. The morning sunlight spilled over Nova Lyra 7, illuminating the settlement in a warm glow. Elara woke with a sense of excitement she hadn't felt in years. The ring. She couldn't stop thinking about it. What had it shown her, and Rin, last night? The star maps. The holographic symbols. The faint whispers of something beyond human knowledge. They lingered in her mind like a dream that refused to fade. She quickly dressed and rushed to her workshop. Rin was already there, examining the ring on his palm. The morning air was cool, but the tiny piece of metal seemed to radiate warmth, as if it had a heartbeat. Elara, Rin said, eyes wide. Look at this. The ring had changed. Its faint blue glow had brightened, and faint geometric shapes were now hovering above it in the air. They weren't static. They moved with purpose, arranging themselves into patterns that neither of them recognized. It's alive, Elara whispered. Rin nodded. I think it's showing us something. Maybe something important. Elara took the ring in her hand. She focused on the moving shapes, letting her mind follow their rhythm. Slowly, the shapes began to form images, star systems, planets, and strange, floating structures that looked like cities made of light. "Oh my," she breathed. "It's showing other worlds and civilizations." Rin leaned closer. "Are you saying there are intelligent beings out there we don't know about?" Ilara nodded slowly. "I think the ring is pointing them out. But there's more. I feel like it wants us to understand something about them." As they watched, the ring projected a thin, glowing line that connected various stars and planets. It looked like a network, a cosmic web, stretching across the galaxy. Some nodes pulsed with light, while others remained dim. "The bright ones," Ilara said, tracing the line with her finger. "They must be important. Maybe places we can visit, or maybe places we need to protect." Rin's brow furrowed. "Protect? From what?" Ilara didn't answer immediately. She felt a chill run through her body. The ring had always been beautiful, but now it seemed urgent, almost like it carried a warning. They spent hours studying the projections. The ring responded to thought as well as touch. When they focused on a particular star system, the pattern zoomed in, showing incredible detail. Swirling clouds of gas, shining cities, and tiny moving figures that seemed to be intelligent beings. "This is incredible," Rin said. "We're seeing parts of the galaxy that no human has ever seen before. And it's showing us secrets." Ilara felt a thrill of pride. Humans had always been explorers, innovators, dreamers. But this— the ring seemed to recognize something unique in them, their ability to observe, to imagine, and to solve problems in ways no machine or alien race could. She thought about the stories her great-grandmother had told her as a child. Tales of humans venturing beyond the stars, of courage and creativity saving colonies from disaster. Could it be that humans really had something special, something the ring had recognized? As the day passed, they discovered that the ring wasn't just showing maps. It projected puzzles and codes, seemingly designed to test their intuition. When they solved one, the ring responded with a gentle pulse of light, as if acknowledging their success. "This is amazing," Ilara said, her eyes sparkling. "It's like it's teaching us, or testing us." Rin smiled. "Well, humans are pretty good at solving problems, right? Maybe that's what it wants to see, how clever we are." Ilara laughed softly. "I think you're right. But why us? Why humans?" The ring's light flickered and then projected a new image. A group of strange machines, moving across the stars. They were smooth, metallic, and precise, almost perfect. But they were cold. They didn't move with creativity or curiosity. They followed patterns, obeyed commands, and nothing more. Ilara frowned. "They're intelligent, I think, but not like us. They're predictable." Rin's eyes widened. "You mean, compared to humans, they can't think outside the box?" Ilara nodded. "Exactly. They follow rules, and they can't improvise. Humans, we can adapt. We can create solutions on the fly. Maybe that's why the ring responded to us first." The ring pulsed again, and new holographic symbols appeared, showing humans interacting with strange alien technology. They weren't fighting, not in the way machines or soldiers might. They were solving problems, unlocking systems, and understanding devices that no one else could. This is incredible," Rin whispered. "It's like it's showing a future where humans are the only ones who can do certain things." Ilara nodded. "Yes, the ring chose us because we can think, imagine, and adapt. We can do things no one else can." For the next few days, they experimented with the ring constantly. They traced its glowing patterns, deciphered its symbols, and solved the puzzles it presented. Each success made the ring shine brighter, and the holographic star maps became more detailed. One evening, as the twin moons of Nova Lyra 7 rose in the sky, the ring projected a new symbol, a tiny figure, glowing in gold. It seemed to point toward the edge of the galaxy. "Elara," Rin said softly. "Look. It's guiding us somewhere." Elara studied the figure carefully. "Yes. And I think it wants us to go there. Not just look, but travel. See it for ourselves." Rin's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Humans? Huh? We always want to explore. I guess it knew we couldn't resist." Elara smiled. "I think you're right. But it's more than that. It's teaching us, preparing us. The galaxy is bigger than we imagined. And maybe humans are meant to play a special role in it." They stared at the glowing projection in silence. For the first time, Elara felt the weight of responsibility. This wasn't just a family heirloom anymore. It was a key, a guide, and a challenge. "We need to be careful," she said finally. "We don't know what we're stepping into. The galaxy is vast, and there are things out there we can't even imagine." Rin nodded. "But we can do it, right? Humans have always found a way." Elara smiled, feeling the truth in his words. "Yes, we can." Over the next week, word of the ring began to spread quietly in the settlement. People were curious, but Elara and Rin were cautious. They didn't want anyone to take it, misuse it, or panic. The ring's power wasn't dangerous in a violent way, but it was sensitive. It responded to human thought and intention, and it needed focus, curiosity, and creativity traits humans possessed in abundance. One evening, as Elara was studying the star maps projected by the ring, she noticed something remarkable. Certain constellations aligned in patterns that suggested hidden pathways between star systems, routes that could take humans far beyond their current colonies. This is a map of the galaxy," she whispered to herself, "and it's showing us the way." Rin came over, peering at the holographic stars. "Humans are special, aren't we? Not just clever, but capable of things no one else can." Elara nodded slowly. "Yes. And maybe that's why the ring chose us. To guide us, and to see what humans can really do." And well, as the night deepened and the moons reflected off the translucent domes of Nova Lyra 7, the ring pulsed softly, almost like a heartbeat in the quiet room. Elara and Rin sat together, staring at the glowing projections, realizing that their lives and perhaps the future of humanity had just changed forever. The ring had awakened, and with it, the galaxy began to whisper its secrets. Weeks passed since the ring had fully awakened. Elara and Rin had become almost inseparable, working tirelessly to understand the star maps, projections, and puzzles the ring presented. Each day brought a new discovery: hidden star systems, strange structures, and hints of civilizations that had long been forgotten. The colony of Nova Lyra 7 had grown used to seeing them together, their eyes often glowing from the soft light of the holographic projections in the workshop. Some neighbors whispered, some were curious, but everyone respected their space. They didn't know the full importance of what Elara and Rin held: the key to pathways across the galaxy and to knowledge humanity had never touched before. One afternoon, while tracing a glowing path projected by the ring, Elara noticed something unusual. The ring projected a new system that was unlike any they had seen before. Its planets were surrounded by complex structures that seemed both natural and artificial, like cities built in harmony with the environment. But more strikingly, the ring showed strange, semi-transparent beings moving along the structures, interacting with devices far beyond human technology. "Look at this," Elara said, pointing. "It's not just a star system. There's a civilization here, Rin. And it's highly advanced." Rin leaned closer, eyes wide. They're intelligent, but they move in such a calculated way. Almost too perfect. Alara nodded. Yes, they follow rules, patterns. They don't improvise. But humans, we do. Maybe that's why the ring chose us, to see what we could do that others can't. Over the next several days, they studied the system more closely. The ring revealed its purpose clearly now. Humans were meant to interact, to solve problems, and to understand structures that no other species could comprehend. The ring pulsed brighter when they applied creative thinking, and dimmed when they approached tasks mechanically. "This is incredible," Rin whispered one evening, as the workshop glowed with the ring's light. "It's like the ring is teaching us, or showing the galaxy what humans are capable of." Elara smiled. "Exactly. We're not just explorers. We're problem solvers. Humans can see patterns, create solutions, and think in ways machines or aliens cannot. This is our edge." Suddenly, the ring's light shifted. A new projection appeared. A system with a locked structure. A complex network of glowing barriers and moving energy patterns. The hologram hovered above the ring, pulsating in colors that neither of them had seen before. "It's a puzzle," Alara said. Her voice trembled slightly with excitement. "The ring wants us to solve it." Rin laughed softly. "Then let's show it what humans can do." They studied the holographic puzzle for hours. Each time they traced a path incorrectly, the energy barriers reconfigured themselves. But when they combined their knowledge, intuition, and imagination, the barriers shifted. Slowly, the structure unfolded, revealing a hidden core at its center, a glowing sphere of energy and light. Alara gasped. "We did it." The ring recognized our solution. "It's acknowledging humans." Rin smiled widely. "Humans are special, aren't we? I knew it. We're not just lucky, we're capable of things no one else can do." The ring pulsed with a steady, bright glow, almost like a heartbeat of approval. It projected a new message: human ingenuity required for interstellar guidance. Alara read the words aloud. "It's asking us to guide, to help civilizations we haven't even met yet." Rin's jaw dropped. "Guide? Aliens? Us?" "Yes," Alara said softly. "Not with weapons, not with force, but with our minds, our creativity, our ability to solve problems no one else can. That's why the ring chose humans." Over the following week, Alara and Rin began to understand more about humanity's role. The ring projected systems with alien machines that had stalled. Civilizations stuck in routines they could not break. Humans, the ring seemed to say, were the ones who could unlock these systems not by brute force, but by ingenuity, intuition, and imagination. One evening, as the moons of Nova Lyra 7 reflected silver across the domes, the ring projected a particularly complex system. It was vast, filled with glowing pathways, spinning energy nodes, and machines that hummed with potential. The ring pulsed urgently. "They're waiting for humans," Alara said, tracing the glowing paths. "They can't solve this themselves. Only we can." Rin nodded. "Then, let's do it." Together, they approached the holographic system, analyzing its patterns. The machines followed rigid routines, each movement predictable. But humans were different. Alara suggested a sequence of actions that was unconventional, almost reckless by the machine's standards. Rin followed her lead, improvising on her ideas. To their amazement, the system responded. Paths opened, energy flowed, and the previously locked nodes began to interact. The ring glowed brighter than ever, projecting a message in golden light. Alara and Rin looked at each other, stunned. They had just solved a puzzle that no other species, machine, or alien could complete. "Humans really are something else," Rin said, laughing. I mean, look at that. We didn't just follow rules. We created new ones. Elara nodded, feeling a thrill of pride. Yes. And the ring? It knew we could. It knew humans would improvise, adapt, and find a solution no one else could. That's why it chose us. As the weeks went on, word began to spread quietly among certain interstellar scholars and explorers. Humans were capable of solving problems that others could not. It wasn't long before the first messages arrived from other civilizations, curious and cautious. They had noticed humans interacting with mysterious systems in ways that defied expectation. Elara and Rin realized that humanity was gaining a reputation in the galaxy, not for strength, speed, or weaponry, but for creativity, adaptability, and intelligence. The ring had opened a door, and humans were stepping through it. One evening, the ring projected a new message, more urgent than before. A cluster of star systems was shown, with faint golden lines connecting them. Each system had dormant technology, waiting for someone to unlock it. The galaxy needs humans, Elara said, her voice calm but determined. Not to conquer, not to fight, but to think, to create, to solve problems others cannot. Rin placed a hand on her shoulder. Then that's what we'll do. Humans were made for this. We've always adapted, always imagined, always found a way. Elara smiled. Yes. And the ring, it knew. It chose us because it trusted humans to use their minds, their hearts, and their curiosity to make the galaxy better. As the light of the ring filled their workshop, Elara realized something profound. Humanity had always been underestimated by machines, by aliens, by the stars themselves. Yet, here they were, proving that innovation, empathy, and creativity were the greatest strengths any species could have. The ring pulsed one last time that night, sending waves of golden light across the room. It was a silent acknowledgement, a promise, and a challenge. Humans were ready. The galaxy awaited their ingenuity. And Elara and Rin looked at each other, hearts racing. The universe was vast and full of mysteries, but they were ready to face it. Not with weapons or might, but with the unique power humans had always possessed. The ability to think differently, to adapt, and to create solutions no one else could. And somewhere deep in the stars, civilizations they had never met were watching, waiting, and learning from humanity's edge. Humans were no longer just one species among many. They were innovators, problem solvers, and guides of force that could change the galaxy in ways no one had imagined. Elara glanced at Rin, smiling. The ring chose us, she said softly, and we're going to show the galaxy what humans can do. Rin grinned. Let's start solving some cosmic puzzles then. The ring pulsed gently in their hands, like a heartbeat of hope, and with that pulse, humanity's journey into the galaxy truly began. The twin moons of Nova Lyra 7 hung low in the sky, casting silver shadows across the domes of the settlement. Elara and Rin sat in their workshop, the ring glowing softly between them. For weeks, they had explored star systems, solved ancient puzzles, and unlocked pathways that had remained dormant for centuries. The galaxy was beginning to notice humans, and not for their strength or weapons for their minds. Do you ever stop and think about it? Rin asked, leaning back in his chair. Humans, being the ones everyone watches now? Elara smiled. Not because we're the strongest, but because we think differently, adapt, and imagine solutions no one else can. Rin nodded. I guess the galaxy hasn't really seen what humans are capable of. It's only the beginning, Elara said softly. We're going to show them. The ring pulsed brighter, projecting a new star system. Unlike the others, this one had signs of life that were struggling. Massive crystalline structures hovered above the planets, but they were silent. The holograms suggested a civilization frozen in place, machines and beings stuck in routines they couldn't break. This is different, Ilara said, tracing the holographic structures with her finger. They're trapped. The ring wants us to help them directly. Rin leaned closer. Then let's get to work. Together, they studied the patterns. The machines in this system followed strict protocols. They could move, repair, and maintain their structures, but they could not innovate. They could not imagine solutions beyond the rules they were programmed to follow. Ilara smiled. That's where humans come in. The ring pulsed in acknowledgement. It seemed almost alive, encouraging them. Ilara and Rin began to work, testing ideas that no one else would think of. They combined knowledge of physics, patterns, and intuition, creating sequences of movements and energy flows that had never existed in this system. At first, nothing happened. The machines continued their predictable routines. But slowly, nodes began to react. Paths opened, lights shifted, and energy flowed in ways that had been impossible before. Rin's eyes lit up. It's working! They're responding to our creativity. Ilara nodded. Humans can think in ways no one else can. That's why the ring chose us. And now, we're proving it. As the hours passed, the civilization began to awaken. Machines moved with new purpose. Structures aligned in innovative patterns, and the once silent cities shimmered with energy. The ring pulsed rhythmically, almost like it was smiling. It's beautiful, Rin whispered. Humans, we really can make a difference. Ilara smiled, feeling a sense of pride and responsibility. Yes, we're showing the galaxy what humans are capable of, and we're doing it without violence, without force, just imagination, creativity, and a willingness to try something new. For days, they continued to interact with the system. Each new problem required them to think differently, to imagine beyond what was known. The ring responded to their ideas, guiding them, encouraging them, and occasionally challenging them. One evening, the ring projected a message in golden light. Human ingenuity verified. Civilization restored. Guidance complete. Ilara and Rin stared at it, amazed. We did it, Ilara said softly. We helped an entire civilization, just by thinking differently. Rin laughed, a mix of disbelief and pride. Humans really are something else. The galaxy underestimated us. Ilara nodded. And now, they can see. Humans are not just another species. We're innovators, problem solvers, and guides. As the ring pulsed gently, it projected a new image, one that showed humans across the galaxy interacting with systems, civilizations, and machines. The glowing nodes connected, forming a web of light that stretched far beyond their own star systems. It was a vision of humanity's role in the universe. Explorers, creators, and helpers. This is incredible, Rin said softly. We're leaving a mark on the galaxy, and it's all because humans can think, imagine, and adapt. Ilara smiled. Yes. And the ring, it knew. It chose humans because no one else could do this. We're showing the galaxy that our uniqueness isn't just about survival. It's about creativity, understanding, and empathy. Over the following weeks, they continued to explore new star systems. Each civilization they encountered had different challenges. Machines that had stopped working, cities that were dormant, or systems locked in patterns they could not escape. Humans approached each one differently, using imagination, intuition, and collaboration to unlock new possibilities. The ring pulsed in response to each success, its glow a silent acknowledgement of human achievement. It seemed almost alive, not as a tool, but as a partner, guiding them while respecting their creativity. One day, as they were studying a particularly intricate system, a small holographic figure appeared. It resembled a humanoid form, but made entirely of light. Its expression was serene, almost smiling. "It's communicating," Elara whispered. The figure moved gracefully, showing sequences of patterns that represented problems the civilization had faced. Elara and Rin studied it carefully, then began to respond with their own sequences, creative solutions that no machine could have predicted. The figure pulsed in approval, and the structures in the holographic system began to awaken. Energy flowed, lights shifted, and the civilization began to move freely, for the first time in centuries. Rin looked at Elara, eyes wide with awe. They understand us. They trust humans." Elara nodded. "Yes. And this is just the beginning. Humans have something unique. Something that no one else can replicate. We're showing the galaxy that creativity, empathy, and problem-solving are more powerful than force." The ring pulsed one last time that night. Its glow warm and steady. It had fulfilled its purpose, guiding humans to understand their role in the galaxy. And yet, it remained with them. A reminder that the journey was ongoing, that the galaxy still had countless mysteries waiting for human ingenuity. Elara held the ring carefully. "Rin, it's incredible. The ring chose humans, and we've proven that we can make a difference. Not by fighting, not by taking, but by thinking, creating, and imagining." Rin smiled. "Humans, we really are special. And now, the galaxy knows it too." The two friends sat quietly, staring at the stars through the translucent dome. Each star represented a possibility, a challenge, a new puzzle waiting for human minds. They felt the weight of responsibility, yes, but also the thrill of adventure and discovery. The ring glowed softly in Elara's hand, a silent heartbeat connecting them to the galaxy. It had shown them the potential of humans, and it had confirmed what they had always believed. Creativity, empathy, and ingenuity were humanity's greatest strengths. Elara glanced at Rin, smiling. "The ring chose us for a reason, and now, it's time to continue the journey. The galaxy is waiting for humans." Rin nodded, his eyes reflecting the golden light of the ring. "Then, let's show them what we can do." As the night deepened and the moons cast silver reflections across Nova Lyra 7, Elara and Rin looked out at the stars, filled with hope, excitement, and determination. The galaxy was vast, full of mysteries and challenges. But humans had something no one else did. The ability to think differently, to create solutions, and to guide where others could not. The ring pulsed one final time in their hands. Warm and steady, like a heartbeat of promise. Humans had awakened to their role in the universe. They were no longer just observers, they were innovators, explorers, and guides. And somewhere, across the countless stars and civilizations, beings of all kinds began to notice. Humans were not just another species. They were the ones who could make the impossible possible, simply by thinking differently, imagining boldly, and touching the universe with their unique gift. Human ingenuity. The ring rested gently in Elara's hand. A legacy of the past, a guide for the future, and a symbol of hope. Humanity had awakened, and the galaxy would never be the same again.